Want to learn how you can get hired into literally any job you want? Doesn't matter about your experience, doesn't matter about your education. Okay, I'm sure you want to know that. That's what we're going to cover in this video. So sit tight, we're going to dive straight into it. So what you need to understand is that there are just two things that matter in any recruitment process. Okay, whether we're talking about the top of the tree, Amazon, Facebook, Deloitte, Google, Accenture, any of those massive companies, okay? Or we're talking about your local firm that you want to join, or we're talking about any company in the world that you want to get a job at. It all comes down to these two simple things, and I'm going to break them down in this video. And if you apply the strategies that I'm going to tell you about here, it's going to massively increase your chances, and you're going to understand why applying online for the jobs that you want is not the best way of doing it. If that's your only strategy right now, you're literally throwing your chances out the window. It's a terrible way, right? You're leaving your chances in the hands of the robots, the applicant tracking systems. When you submit your resume or your CV online, it's going to get reviewed by a robot. Do you want to leave your chances in the hands of a robot? No. So what you need to do is understand these two things that we're going to cover right now. So the first thing that you need to understand about any hiring process, it doesn't matter if it's a massive company or it's a tiny company, whichever company you want to get hired into, your dream role, the thing that matters the most is building human connections with the people that you're going to be working with every single day. Right? Applying online does not let you build human connections with those people, right? The traditional hiring process doesn't let you do it. But why is it important? It's massively important for one simple reason. Because those people want to know, are you going to be good to work with on a day-to-day basis? They don't want to work with, from both ends. They don't want to work with a super nerd who just can't do anything because they're just so intellectual, right? You can't speak to them because they're just thinking about all crazy algorithms and equations all the time, right? And at the other end, you don't want somebody who's just so loud and obnoxious that you can never get a word in edgeways, right? You want somebody in the middle. You want someone who's nice to work with. You want somebody who's going to make your life better. He's going to improve the fit of the company. Right? That's what you need to prove. And the only way you can do that is by building those human connections with people. Right? And how do you do that? How do you build real human connections with people? It's simple, okay? You have to talk to them. You have to go and build relationships in person, on the phone, and even if, you can use the internet if you really need to, that's just a starting point. You can use LinkedIn, you can use cold email outreach, stuff which I teach my students, okay? But you just need to start building those connections today. You cannot just keep rewriting your resume over and over again, submitting it online, and just hoping for the best, because that's not going to work, okay? That's a surefire way to fail, right? It's a terrible approach to trying to secure the job of your dreams, right? So that's the first thing. Build those human connections with the people that matter, okay? With the key decision makers, with the people that you're going to be working with every single day. So that's the first thing. Now, what's the second thing? Well, the second thing, and this is where most people go wrong as well, is that you need to find a way to prove your value. Okay, you need to find a way to prove your value. And we're not talking just any value, we're talking about your future value. Because again, that's what they care about, okay? They care, on one hand, about, are you going to be a good person to work with? We just talked about that. The other thing they care about is, are you going to actually be able to do the job? Are you going to be able to add to their team, add to their company, whatever skills you have from the past, are they actually going to be relevant in future? And what most people do, the mistake most people make, is that they go in and they say, hey, these are my experiences from the past. This is my education from the past. And then they leave it up to the recruiter or the hiring manager to make that jump. To make that jump between, hey, has what I've done in the past, is that relevant to what needs to be done in that role in the future? Okay? You're leaving it up to them to do that work. They don't want to do that work. Okay? They want to just know, can this person do the job? Okay, what are the ideas they have about how we might improve in the industry? What are some of the things that they've done on past projects that are relevant to future projects? Okay, that's why when you write things on your resume or your CV, like duties included managing a team, duties included filing tax returns, duties included blah, 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 stacking shelves, working on the floor, the manufacturing plant, whatever it was, whatever it is, Those things are irrelevant. What matters is how that relates to what you're going to do in future. And this is even more important for people who are shifting careers. It's even more important for people who are coming out of college, students who think, hey, I've got a high GPA, I can just rely on that. You can't rely on that. That's not going to get you hired. The things that are going to get you hired are proving your future value. Okay? And we do this through a concept that I call the unique value proposition. Okay, you need to tell them what makes you unique. Why should they hire you over everybody else? What are the things that you're going to add to their team that are not just, I've got a high GPA or I've got this certain experience in the past? Okay, those are indicators. But if you only tell them that, they have to make the jump. They have to think, how does the fact this person has got a 3.6 GPA or a 2.1 in their degree, how does that mean that they're going to make that jump and be able to do the job on a day-to-day basis? Okay, it doesn't. It does not matter. So you need to focus on creating a unique value proposition specifically for you. Okay, that's what you need to do because it's so, so important. So that's why you've been failing all this time, because what you've been doing so far, I know if you've been failing to get hired into your dream job, is you've just been applying online without building relationships or networking with any people at all in those companies, okay? That's the first place where you're failing. And the second place where you're failing is you're concentrating on stuff that you think is important in the past, not the things that are actually important to the person that's going to be hiring you, which is how you're going to operate in future. That value you need to get across, that value you need to tell them. You just need to present it to them and not leave it to chance, not hope that they're going to be able to work it out. Imagine if you do this. Imagine if you build a relationship with a senior key decision maker at the company that you want to work at, right? You've identified your dream role and you build that relationship, okay? And it's so much easier than people think. And the reason it's easy is because nobody else is doing it, okay? I own a business. If someone comes up to me and proves to me that they can build a relationship and they have skills and experiences that are relevant and they have ideas about how they can build those in future, that is mind-blowingly valuable to me compared to somebody who just applies online through an online job portal. Okay, so if that's what you've been doing, if you've just been applying online, if you've just been talking about your past experience, you now know why that's not going to cut it, okay? And you might say to me now, James, hey, well, some people get hired through those channels, right? Well, yes, they do. Of course they do. Statistically, some people will get hired through those channels. But do you want to leave everything? Do you want to leave your future, your, being able to provide for your family and all those things that you get out of securing a career that is actually going to be worthwhile? Do you want to leave that to chance? Do you want to leave it to those robots? Okay, no, you definitely do not. Okay, so what I want to know now is, what do you want to do? What are you going to do to put that into practice? Okay, how are you going to show people that you're unique, your unique value proposition? How are you going to build those relationships? Okay, let me know in the comments below and I will get back to you and I will tell you exactly whether your approach is right or whether your approach probably needs a bit of tweaking. Okay, and if you're in this position now and you think, I've applied online so many times, I don't know where I'm failing, well, now you know exactly what the problem is. You're failing because you're not doing the two things that matter the most when it comes to any recruitment process for any company, big or small. Do these two things and your chances are going to massively, massively increase. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. In future videos, I'm going to talk more about what these individual steps are and how you can do them. But for now, I hope you found this interesting. And if you have, click the subscribe button because there's going to be a ton more valuable videos coming on this exact topic in a very short amount of time. So I'll see you all soon and thanks for watching.